Welcome to the show called Beyond Our Galaxy. Space. That dark, empty place that exists way, way out there, of millions of miles of vast emptiness. Thor to Supreme Leader, can you hear me? Yes, Thor, this is the Supreme Leader. I can hear you loud and clear. I am leaving our own galaxy on the way to the planet we call Earth. Be cautious, Thor. Those creatures on Earth could be dangerous. I understand, Supreme Leader. I remember reading about some of their not-so-good history. Remember, Thor, we only want the very intelligent of their kind. Yes, Supreme Leader, only the very intelligent Earthlings. And remember, Thor, you will be going through their time portal. Will have a lot of choices to choose from. Yes, Supreme Leader, I will be cautious. Good luck, Thor. Thank you, Supreme Leader. I sure hope I can find some intelligent Earthlings.
And the journey continues.
Space, that infinite place that continually seems to go on and on. Endlessly. Space holds those familiar objects we Earthlings all enjoy seeing in the night sky. The sun. The planets. The moons. The comets. The many constellations. Plus the millions of stars all we Earthlings see up in the night sky. When Earthlings look up into space, we are actually looking into the past or yesterday. Here are some more pictures of the night objects. That we Earthlings all can see when we look up at the night sky every night. We Earthlings can see thousands of objects in the night sky. With just our human eye. With a telescope, the human eye can see millions more objects in the night sky. There are endless things Earthlings can discover and study about the universe. There are many more interesting questions one can ask as well. For example, space. It has no oxygen in it like we Earthlings have here on Earth. But yet helium and hydrogen can be found in space. How can this be? Hydrogen and helium make up the substance of what we call oxygen. Oxygen is what Earthlings need to exist, especially here on Earth. So how can hydrogen and helium be found in space? These elements in space are found in the form of what is called atoms. These tiny particles, called atoms alone, can exist in space. Then there is this other fascinating question astronomers are constantly searching for the answer. Our universe and space can be measured by what we call light years. One can then ask, what is a light year? A light year is how fast light can travel from one place to another through space. Light travels to us here on planet Earth at 186,000 miles per second. From planet Earth to the farthest distance of our universe, the universe is 5 billion light years long. All it takes is that simple word for Earthlings to discover what is in their universe called imagination. Imagination helps us to discover new things. Way out there in space. But for right now, it's time for a brief PSA or public service announcements from your local community television station. So get yourself a warm cup of coffee a cool glass of iced tea, and we'll be right back with more of Beyond Our Galaxy.
All right, everyone, can we get it quiet on set? I need track 3 cued and audio ready. Camera 3 on preview and ready to fade. And we're ready to roll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Music in and fade camera 3.
Welcome to the GRTV studio. In this studio, Grand Rapids Community Media Center members have the ability to bring their experiences to life. If you have a hobby, skill, or experience you want to share,
this is the perfect venue for you to showcase your talents and ideas.
Whether it's a talk show,
that's illegal. You have to keep that in mind. You really shouldn't say things like that on television. All right.
A talent show or a sitcom.
potential writers, directors, actors, or just techies. This is the perfect place for you to hone your skills. Here are the next dates for the available classes. For more information, check us out on our website at www.grcmc.org or stop in at 711 Bridge Street for a personal tour of the facility. Hope to see you there.
Fade to black and music out. All right, that's a wrap, everybody.
On this second part of the show called Beyond Our Galaxy, we are going to be talking about a subject every Earthling is familiar with. An event we call time. From the day an Earthling is born to the day an Earthling dies, all Earthlings are trapped in a thing we call time. What is time? Time is in its most basic definition is a four-dimensional space that points are connected by events. These events are what we Earthlings all experience every day as individuals or as a group, but time is what we all have. When we look at our watches or clocks, these instruments tell us the hour, minutes, and seconds of our lives. Time tells us the days, the months, and years that we find on our charts we call calendars. Earthlings have adopted the calendar called the Gregorian Calander. This kind of calendar is most universally accepted by all Earthlings on this planet today. time is divided as well, as it was created by the church, and this time is known as BC or AD. BC means before Christ. AD means after the death of Christ. So now, this is how time, with the aspect of historical events that take place, and the subject we call history. For example, the ancient Greek astronomer called Thales had made a prediction that a solar eclipse was going to happen in 585 BC. The solar eclipse of 585 BC actually happened. Here is a historical event that took place in the AD side of the Gregorian Calendar. July 20th, 1969 AD, astronaut Neil Armstrong, first man to step human foot on the moon. So from the solar eclipse in 585 BC to the first man on the moon in 1969 AD, some 25 centuries had passed. Time is also divided up into 4 parts by what is called the vernal equinoxes. An observer can note 2 things here about the vernal equinoxes. These divisions, called seasons, are divided into 4 parts and usually fall on the same day every 3 months. And the second observation is that the planet Earth is always tilted on its axis. Here are the 4 seasons that we Earthlings always experience 364 days throughout the year. Winter. Spring. Summer. Fall. With time, Earthlings experience the next 2 following events in their lifetime. Daytime and nighttime. There is also one more problem with the time that the church was able to correct very easily on the calendar. This special added day is called leap year. According to the biblical account, 1 day is missing due to the fact a great military Israelite leader asked the Creator to hold the sun from going down until they were able to catch and destroy their enemy they were trying to capture before nighttime came. Leap year then is when an extra day is added to the calendar, usually in February, to help catch time up and make sure time doesn't get confused or lost, and is added once every 4 years. But for now, it's time once more for a PSA, or a public service announcement, from your local community television station. So Get yourself another warm cup of coffee or a cool glass of iced tea. And we will be right back with more of Beyond Our Galaxy. Welcome back to the last part of this show called Beyond Our Galaxy. From the beginning of this new science of astronomy, men have mostly dominated this fascinating subject. From Ptolemy to astronomer Galileo Galilei to astronomer Nicholas Copernicus, men have been the explorers and discoverers of what we see in the night sky today. But all that has changed since the 1800s. Women have come into the scene and have contributed greatly to this fascinating subject of astronomy. Beginning with the woman astronomer Caroline L. Herschel. She discovers 8 comets from 1786 and 1797 and by the year 110. Caroline Herschel's discoveries makes an impact on astronomy for women. Astronomer William Herschel, brother of Caroline Herschel. One could say that if it wasn't for her brother's encouragement to study astronomy, perhaps women may not have made as such a contribution as they have. Astronomer Henrietta Swan Leavitt, American astronomer, 1868 to 1922, volunteer researcher assistant at Harvard College Observatory. Astronomer Leavitt was paid only 30 cents an hour to help with research at this observatory. But in her research, she studied some 1,200 variable stars and was in charge of the photographic photogrammetry department and took care of the telescopes there as well. Astronomer Annie J. Cannon, American astronomer, 1863 to 1941, studied stellar classification. Astronomer Annie J. Cannon worked alongside astronomer Edward C. Pickering at the Harvard College Observatory. Astronomer Cannon working at her desk on stellar classifications. The next woman astronomer made another fascinating discovery. Astronomer Caroline S. Shoemaker, American, co-discovers Comet Shoemaker 11-9 with her husband, astronomer. On July 20th, 1994, Comet Shoemaker 11-9 makes worldwide news as it begins to crash into planet Jupiter. Comet Shoemaker 11-9 is shown here July 20th, 1994. Spectacular observation on its collision into planet Jupiter. Indeed, astronomy is for both men and women, both young and old Earthlings as well. I wonder where I could find intelligent life here on Earth. Computer, can you scan this planet and help me find intelligent life forms here?
Computer is scanning.
Computer, what is taking you so long?
Computer is working harder than normal for scan.
Is it possible we could be on the wrong planet, computer?
That is possible.